scandal a couple years ago. How much motivation you think it plays into to prove that a couple years ago was not a fluke and not aided by guys hitting trash cans in the dugout?
I went to a lot of games. I never heard the trash cans being banged, so maybe they had better hearing than me. But I think there's certainly some motivation to prove that being in the ALCS the last 4 years was not a fluke. And the Astros, like I said, they're a close-knit group, and they're motivated. They know what it's like to play in the playoffs, and they've been there, done that before, and they're ready to do it again.
When you obviously you go to games and such, and obviously you're a very well-known man. I want to get into some of the other things that you do in a minute in the Houston community. Do some of the players, they see you, they I don't know if by seeing you put pressure on them to perform, or the players maybe give you a wink when they see you up in the stands?
Yeah, they come by and say hello, and I'm pretty well known in Houston. The last Astros game, I never got to my seat because I was walking around the concourse. I took 3,000 pictures with the fans, so that was pretty good indication that people know who I am. That television advertising works.
And like I said, I did a lot of research on you, and you're real. I mean, this ain't the first. The sports stuff we read about in the papers and the sports talk shows. You bet on yourself. I read the article. You were down to maybe your last cup of money, part money, and you gambled on yourself, and now you've become this giantly and wildly successful man with gallery furniture.
Yeah, my wife and I, we came to Houston in 1981 with $5,000 in a dream, and 40 years later, we're still there. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, I heard you became an overnight success. I said, you're exactly right. It only took us 40 years, so we're still at it.
Steve?
Yeah. Is there any foundations I know you do a lot of charity work. I mean, you do so much for the community with the floods, with all kinds of stuff. Is there any foundations you want to talk about that you're involved with, Mac?
My daughter's foundation is called peaceofmind.com. It's for mental health awareness, and she has severe obsessive compulsive disorder, but she also has a PhD from the University of Houston, so she's made her illness her life's work. And so we're very big, the Machiavelli family, in helping people with mental illnesses. We're also big with helping foster kids, which I think is a real tragedy in this country when we don't pay enough attention and care for these foster kids. So those are the two things we try to focus on. And obviously, we have a responsibility for the well-being of the community. Here at the store last year, we put in a free trade school teaching construction, welding, plumbing, air conditioning, auto mechanics, absolutely free. We put in a high school for people 16 to 26 so they can finish high school and get a degree. And we have a free preschool so the kids going to high school, going to trade school, or people that work here can have free daycare and preschool for their children from age 6 months to 5 years old. So we think we all have a responsibility for the well-being of the community and try to give back as much as we can.
That's amazing. That's amazing. A little known fact, like I said, I was doing the research. You're the executive producer of Sidekicks with Chuck Norris?
Yeah, we did Sidekicks with Chuck Norris back in 1995, and my son James was in the movie back when he was a younger child. He had a great time at it. Chuck was a wonderful guy, and we had to fight like hell to get the money out of the movie. We ended up making a little profit, so the movie was a great experience. Didn't make a lot of money, but had a great time with Chuck, and he's a wonderful guy.
I got a question for you, Mac. I just signed a movie deal. It's a movie about my life. Would you like to play yourself in the movie if I had a little part for you?
Yes, sir. I'll play myself. I'll be the worst looking guy in the entire movie, but I'd love to play myself.
You're real. Like I said, doing the research, you've bet on the University of Houston when they were making their run towards the NCAA tournament. Obviously, a lot of people in high places there. Did they, that is probably good for morale for the city. None, one of the top businessmen is behind their sports teams. I mean, did you hear that from, people in government and such?
I think it is. I don't hear it from government officials, but certainly hear it from the, we do these promotions where if the Astros win, if U of H wins, if Tampa Bay wins the Super Bowl, you get your money back. So it makes furniture buying certainly more fun for the customers, makes us very relevant, and that's the heart and soul about why I do these promotions is to have let the customers have fun, have a rooting interest. I did one for the Kentucky Derby, had the highest ratings in Houston in the last 20 years because so many people bought a mattress watching the Kentucky Derby. But I do all these promotions. I have a lot of fun at them, and makes the furniture buying more relevant, more fun for our customers.
Two quick questions, and then I'll let Steve finish up. Two quick questions about Houston sports down there. What's the climate down there with everything with Deshaun Watson? I mean, to tell us how do you feel that whole scenario is going to play out?
It's a tough situation. I'm of the opinion that people are innocent until proven guilty. So I'm staying low profile on this one. I think it's a tragic situation on both sides, and hope everybody turns out well. But we're big fans of the Texans. Obviously, the Texans are turned upside down right now, but they'll right the ship eventually, and hopefully one of these days they'll be as noteworthy in the community as the Houston Astros.
Actually, the question I was alluding to on that, I wasn't even alluding to that situation because obviously that will play itself out, like you said. But before that, he was having problems with the organization. I was going to ask you basically, how do you think that whole scenario is going to play out?
It's tough when these guys make $20 to $30 million a year and they demand to be traded this and that because the team has put a lot of equity in these guys and they leave. So it's a tough situation to be a sports team owner and have the players running the show, but that's kind of what it is. So I think he had some problems with the coach and with some other people, but I can't get into Sean's mind. He's a great player, and I wish him all the best.
And the other question before I let Steve, the Rockets, they a little disappointed that ping pong ball came up number 2 instead of number 1?
Whole lot better than me number 4 and 5, and they'd have had nothing. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad. If I win 1 out of 2 of my bets, I'm happy.
Steve, you want to take us home?
Yeah, Mac. I'm not a big Cowboys fan, even though Dak's coming back this year. I'm from Philadelphia, and I think the Cowboys are going to get a lot better than they were last year. But I have a huge future on the Washington football team this year. Do you like them?
Steve, I heard yesterday through the grapevine that you have information that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Washington football team. Is that correct?
I don't have any information yet, but if that happens, they might lock me up. I don't know, Mac.
How is their defense?
Number 1 defense in football. They're going to get better. Ron Rivera, one of the best coaches in football. They've got Patrick there, Fitzmagic. This is a very, very dangerous team, and I expect them to go over 8 wins. I expect them to go deep in the playoffs. Great odds at 70 to 1. If they go deep, you can always hedge your money and make a free payday. So that's why I like them a lot.
So they're plus what?
70 to 1, 65 to 1. I think they might be down to 50 to 1 at some shops. I think it's a great wager.
Sounds good to me. I will have to go ask my wife, who's shell-shocked after this week, if I can go place a small wager on the Washington football team.
All right, Mac, thanks for coming on. Your website with the furniture, you want to give it out real quick?
Yeah, galleryfurniture.com. Buy that mattress, and we'll deliver it to you free anywhere in the United States. Buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and you will sleep great tonight.
So, follow him at Mattress Mack on Twitter as well.
There you go. And when I move, I know where I'm going. I'm for my new furniture.
Thanks, Mac. Have a great day.
Next time I come to Philly, I'm going to look y'all up.
I got you covered. Don't worry about it.
Cheesesteaks on me.
Yeah, y'all are fun. Have a good day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Mattress Mack, that was tremendous. What a character that guy is.
He's awesome. He's such a nice guy. He does so much for the community. I mean, he's aces. He's straight aces, man.
Unbelievable. So while we got you on here, I don't know, you made sports thoughts, and we're here in Philadelphia. Ben Simmons, how do you think that whole thing plays out?
Oh man, I actually feel bad for the kid. I mean, he's still young, but you got to make some foul shots, man. If you can make some foul shots, the whole dynamic of the last 2 minutes of a basketball game changes for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he just fades. And in my opinion, you just can't get to the championship with someone who you're paying $20 million or whatever his paycheck is every year, and he fades in the last 2 minutes of the game. They got to correct the problem, or they got to get rid of him.
Well, gun to your head, how do you think it all plays out? I guess reports came out in the last hour and a half that his agent, Rich Paul, who, represents LeBron James and many other superstars in the NBA, already met with Sixers GM Daryl Morey at the Chicago pre-draft camp to discuss how this may or may not play out.
I mean, the odds are he's leaving. If you go to the sports books, the odds are that he's leaving. So, odds makers are pretty sharp. They put their money where their mouth is, and, they're pretty close sometimes. So I can't see Ben staying. It's a tough spot for Philadelphia.
So, we're almost halfway through the baseball season. You've kind of are leaning with Mac with the Houston Astros as your team. Training camps in the NFL open in about a month from now. A month from now, and you've already indicated for the money you like the Washington Redskins.
Washington football team. You got to be.
Oh my God!
You can't even say that no more, Mark. they might cancel our show.
No,
but yeah, I mean, this is a team. I mean, last year showed you how good they were. They had no quarterback all season. Smith came in late, hopping around on one leg, comeback player of the year. Great story. But the reality was most of the season, I mean, there was no one back there throwing the ball. Turnovers were big for them last year. They were in close games where they lost a turnover battle 4-1, 3-1, 2-1. So this is a defense that's very dangerous. They got better. They added some offensive weapons. They secured their offensive line. Love Riverboat Ron. Arguably the weakest division in the NFC. Those other two divisions are tough. Yeah, probably. So I know Dak's coming back. It's going to, he's going to need some time to get used to game speed with the Cowboys. Even though the Cowboys are stacked as well. The Eagles 7 wins. I can't see them getting there. That's their over and under on their regular season win totals. That's going to be tough. The Giants got a little better. There's still question marks surrounding them. The 49ers, Seattle, Arizona, the Rams, they're all tough. The 49ers were one of the most injured teams last year in the NFL on offense and defense. So now they get healthy. I think their season wins is at 10.5. They're very dangerous. The Rams get Stafford, top 5 in offense and defensive last year. Pass rush was insane with Donald. Now you got a real quarterback, playing on that team this year with Stafford. They're very dangerous. It's going to be very, very interesting.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said, but the thing I just can't wrap my head around, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's a guy he's a shot in the arm quarterback. He's always proven to me a hell of a shot in the arm. 1-16, can you trust him? 1-16 games?
He was number 1 under pressure last year in the NFL out of all quarterbacks. So he's matured. He's gotten better. He just doesn't have to turn the ball over. If they win the turnover differential and say, 12 out of the 17 games, they're going to win all 12 games. That's how ferocious their defense is. And I tell people all the time, a great pass rush usually correlates to a team that goes deep in the playoffs.
I agree with
ends
you.
up in the Super Bowl. So they got one of the best pass rushes in football. Very, very dangerous team.
I agree with you. And obviously, there's only 4 teams left here in the NBA. I guess it's a little easier because only 4 teams left. Who's be holding that trophy in a month or so?
We're hoping for the Phoenix Suns. TCK, the college kids, and the 8-ball. They bet the Suns at 50-1 to win the whole thing. A while back, we actually gave it out on this show, on FT Action Show live. They bet them 22-1 to win the West, 20-1 to win the Pacific Division. That ticket already cashed. So we're all in with the Phoenix Suns. We got a nice size wager with them. And that's who we're cheering in. Chris Paul's back. They're up 2-0. It looks like we're going to end up in the finals with the Suns. The Atlanta Hawks, they keep surprising me. I mean, they're undersized, but their heart is huge, size of a lion, and they keep winning. And Trae Young, like we talked about earlier, I mean, he's the new Allen Iverson, and he's you saw what he did last night.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And I think it'd be pretty cool because obviously in the past – maybe 20 years, we've had some form of Celtics and Lakers and, the Bulls even before that. Atlanta, the Atlanta Hawks and the Phoenix Suns, some new blood in the finals. Hopefully that happens. Even Milwaukee makes it. Milwaukee hasn't been in the finals in, probably since the Jabbar era, I would imagine, since Jabbar was Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor, right?
So it looks like, and even the Clippers, they've, never been in the finals. We'll have some new blood in the finals, so that should be fun. I don't know. I don't think I've ever talked hockey with you, but do you have any hockey picks? No, not into pucks and ice. but you do bet on soccer though from time to time, don't you?
I piggyback a lot of sharp information, whether it's soccer or hockey. You can't stretch yourself too thin. So many hours in a day. We read about 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
You can't do everything. You gotta know what you're good at. And the NHL and soccer, I'm not really, too keen on. Even though if I can, cash a ticket, I'll definitely follow some sharp money or some sharp guys that do their research extensively.
Let me ask you this. And like I said, we've had on the various different shows. I mean, you've done over the last couple of years. because of all the apps and how easy it is for people to gamble. How you think gambling on the Olympics that's coming up? You think that's going to be a big winner?
I mean, anything you can gamble on, you're going to watch. It don't matter. If you can gamble on darts, you're going to watch darts championships. We were betting KBO when everything was shut down. Korean baseball. I mean, anything you can watch and you can get a vested interest in it, put a little couple bucks on it. You're going to watch it. So yeah, anything you can fire away on, man, you got to love it.
Is this something that you're looking forward to? Maybe betting on some track and field, or what was it?
It depends how deep I get into it. Like right now is a little bit of a downtime for me. We do the baseball, the totals, the sides, but in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be ramping up on the NFL. I'm going to read every article. I want to talk to everyone I know in the business, and we're going to go, head first into the NFL season. That's where the money's at. That's the monster of this industry, and that's the driving force behind our website because, since we launched in the last 10 years, no one has been better at betting and beating the NFL than we have.
Yeah, the only reason why I thought the Olympics is yesterday came out they announced the Olympic basketball team with all the All-Stars
brother on the Greek team.
Okay, and one guy who won't be playing for the Australian team is Ben Simmons. I guess he'd be working on those foul shots. I guess.
He better, man. He better. If he could just make his foul shots, I mean, that'll save that'll save a lot of headaches for him.
No, but I was thinking that me and you were talking about doing this interview today, and I wanted to ask you. Is there? And you talk to the other gamblers and whatever. Do they bet on the Olympics?
We haven't even talked about it. So if we do, I'll let you guys know. That's all.
Okay. We'll we'll get the Philly Godfathers gold medal picks.
That's all we need. Some gold medal futures.
The gold medal futures. Well, anything you want to say out there? I don't know. Is there anything a pick you want to give out just for the people out there? Or
I bet the Marlins small today. Don't go crazy betting it. Little plus money on a team.
What time's that game
scored a ton of runs last night. We were on the Nationals. I know you were on the Phillies. We got lucky. Better to be lucky than good any day of the week. So I took some. I took some fish money here, and hopefully we don't get fish fried.
How about Kyle Schwarber yesterday? I don't know if you saw his tweet. Kyle Schwarber, who had a game-tying 3-run homer for the Nationals yesterday against the Phillies, said something like it's like. I guess someone in this town could hit a 3-pointer. Took a shot at the Sixers.
Oh my God, that's all we needed, right?
I don't know the exact. It was something. It was a shot at Ben Simmons and 3-pointers, and him hitting a 3-run homer. So there you have it. We got some. First of all, we want to thank Mattress Mack for taking time out for his busy. How about him? He goes all in. He's got the Astros hat, got the uniform. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Just a great guy overall. Like I said earlier, he's aces. Not too many nicer, more generous, and sharp guys in the world.
It's unbelievable. Well, Steve, we're going to do this from time to time. Maybe we'll get some guests up. We'll get some boxing guests up. Maybe we'll get some people from the world of gambling, get some maybe other athletes and whatever. And, especially during the football season, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with the quarterback, Glenn Foley. We'll get you on. We'll debate some stuff, make some picks, and have some fun with it. And
I know he don't like the Jets this year, does he?
I don't know. I know. I think he likes Wilson a little bit, but we'll get him on. We'll talk some football.
They're actually going to be a little bit better this year. They got a great coach.
Yeah, and he's the defensive coordinator of Saleh, and they've upgraded. Yeah. They had absolutely no weapons last year, so they got themselves some weapons. So we'll see that. So Steve,
the Chargers picked up some great coaching, so that's going to help.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the fans to be coming back in the NFL. They two great new stadiums. No one was in them last year, so
yeah, I just want to know if Aaron Rodgers ends up in Washington, forget about it.
No, before we let you go, why did he say you may have some information?
Oh, I don't have any information on that. I'm just sitting here and I'm like this, and Washington has a lot of capital to offer. Obviously, John Elway is going to make a massive play for him.
Yeah,
and it depends whether the Packers want to send him to the NFC or the AFC.
I can't see
and what they get back in return. And I think Washington can offer them more than Denver can right now.
Yeah,
but it's the NFL. It's relationships. It's connections, and that's how that works.
It's amazing. If he gets traded, I can't wait to see the TV network start flexing games left and right, where the Broncos maybe had a bunch of 4:05 games. They're going to become 8 o'clock Sunday games.
And those odds are going to plummet. Those odds are going to plummet because this Broncos team was one of the most injured last year, and they still won a bunch of games with a quarterback that was but that defense is back. They got so many offensive weapons. Aaron Rodgers on that team. They're right there, the second or third favorite to win it all if he gets on that team.
Let me ask you this, and I don't know if you want to give out or whatever, but last year you were in on the Buccaneers before the big move happened. Maybe it was a feel, maybe you had the information, whatever.
I hear things.
You hear things, but so we're talking Washington, who you've already mentioned, or maybe Denver. Obviously, you've made your play on Washington, but has there been a few cents sent on the Denver Broncos just in case?
Maybe? I can't say right now, Mark.
Okay.
Top secret.
That's why I said you may not want to answer. But there you go.
I can neither confirm or deny. I plead the fifth.
Okay. I don't know if that was a good question to ask or not. But where do we want to plug? Where we plug it here?
Man, the show's amazing. We cashed 70% of our NFL wagers last year on Follow the Action. We gave out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before the season started. We gave out the Buffalo Bills at 30-1. You could have hedged your money in the AFC Championship.
You gave out the Buccaneers in April, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, back in March 7th. And then we did the show, I think, in April or May. This year, we gave out the Phoenix Suns to win it all. There were so many division winners, regular season win total winners, and weekly winners. Follow the Action on YouTube. You guys know where to follow me at Philly Godfather. I love all you guys. And the best part about our legendary futures is we gave out like 95% of them for free over the past decade. So, there's a lot of haters out there talking mad smack, but at the end of the day, we give you all the love for free on Twitter.
And I always say, if you want to eat right, listen to the Philly Godfather. If you want to eat healthy in a lot of ways, both in volume and, of course, the good food. Steve will be back doing some stuff at some point. And, when something good comes up, we'll promote it and we'll get some of these great guests that, you have access to, I have access to. We'll have a party.
Yo, let's get Gabby on, man. Oh, my God. Before we go, Gabriel Rosado's knockout reminded me of Rocky Marciano versus Jersey Joe Walcott. It was like a thunderbolt of neutron electricity going through his body, and he threw that overhand right, and it was lights out.
You know what? If I knew we were going to talk about that, I have the capabilities to play highlights on this thing. So we can do our own sports.
We get him on. We get Gabby on. He's a good friend of both of ours. I remember the first time Gabby walked in the gym at Front Street, Billy Briscoe was training me, and he ended up training Gabby. Mm-hmm. And he's come so far. He's a warrior. He reminds me of Arturo Gatti. He's been on the ass end of some shady decisions, but he's got the true heart of a warrior and one of my favorite boxers out there. He always brings it all. He always brings the heat, no matter who his opponent is.
Absolutely. And that he just parlayed that one punch into probably a real nice payday.
He deserves it, man.
Speaking of eating healthy and seven figures like Mattress Mack, who we just had on.
And our other buddy, Scooter's fighting September 11th to unify the belts. Another kid we love out of Philadelphia, Stephen Fulton Jr. He's fought 9 undefeated fighters, beat them all. He's undefeated, and now he's going to unify all the belts. Big things coming for Scooter, Stephen Fulton Jr. September 11th, we're going to be at the fight. So make sure you guys check him out.
Live on Showtime for the Unified Super Bantamweight Championship. He'll be fighting Brandon Figueroa. It should be a hell of a fight. Philly Godfather, thank you for a few minutes of your time. Go back to that computer.
You got it.
I know the computer is awaiting you.